Defense in chess. So we all like to attack. An attack is always fun, but we have to learn the defense also. Like if we want to like really beat very strong players, then we should know defense also. So we'll work on defense from simple defense to complex ones. So here, knight f6 check. But you can see the queen on h5 is also hanging. So we can capture on f6. They capture, the knight takes. Okay, black just played queen to e1. So what is the threat? Okay, right now rook g2 is one threat. Going to come there. So we can't move this rook to f8 because they have uh, rook g3. But I think we can go king c2. So there's no check. This knight is controlling almost all the important squares. So queen is not able to give check. So this piece is pinned. So in defense, we have to look for counter chances. Counter attack is one of the best defense. So here, rook to f8. So we can go king c2, strong. So we can just take it. And then king d3. Okay, bishop takes h7. So white is planning to play knight g5 and get the queen to h5. So this is their plan. So h7 is somewhat problematic. So what we can do here is we can take and we can go king g8 because we have bishop f5. Even if they go queen to h5, we can always play bishop to f5. So knight e6, pawn e6. Now black is fine. Okay, rook g2 check. Also we have a mate in 1 here. So now should we take or not take? So we have many pieces around the king. So we can just take, there's no problem. Now we can't go very far because they will take the rook. So king has to defend. Okay, knight e3. Queen is under attack. So active defense. So we can play queen to c3. Queen c3. Attack on g7 as well as attack on e3. So queen c3. Yes, we can take. Okay, so there's a mating threat. So how to deal this? So knight e1 is a passive defense. So we have to look for counter attack. The queen can actually attack the h3, but this knight is blocking the way. So we'll release this with a tempo. So knight h4, attacking the queen and defending the g2. So queen can take on h3. So they take, we take. Okay. So bishop f8. There's a check here. So if we take, they are going to play rook e7, trying to attack the queen. But we don't have much options also. We have to take. Also, when we take on f8, their queen also gets under attack. So this is something very important to notice here. So we just take, they give a check. So we need to maintain the attack on e8. So therefore we can bring the f4 rook back to f7. They take, we can capture with the king and can capture. Okay, so here there's a mating attack similar to the previous one. Earlier we saw a similar position where the knight went to h4. Same kind of idea. Knight h5 and rook will capture. So knight h5, queen g5. Okay, this queen is protected, so we can just play rook takes h6. They take, we can take back. Okay, so queen f7 is coming here. So we have the e7 pawn protected from the rook. So queen f5 is also one threat. So can we take the knight? So if they give check on f7, let's say we capture, they capture, and we should be going to d6. d6 is not a good square because queen d5 will mate. So in this case, king has to go to d7, and after queen d5 we can go to c8 because they have a strong support from this pawn. So what we can do is we can take on b1. So this is a very dangerous spot. We shouldn't be going here because queen d5 is mating. So we can just go king d7 and then king to c8. Strong. Okay, so there's a check here, but there's maiden one on g7. So right now we have to move to a square where we don't get under attack. For example, if we go to f2, there is a possibility for queen check. So I think we can go king g2. Okay, they took, we can take. Okay, bishop takes f4. So the queen is attacked. So we need to create a counter attack. So we can give a check, gaining some time. So that's one strong idea. Check. Okay, now knight f2 is coming. So we can aim for smoother mate. They won't allow. So we can take. Okay, so this rook is tied to the defense of the g2. So we can take on f4. There's no problem here. So we can take. Knight b5. So we can attack here. Also, this is the only move. Only move, and it's a good move here. So a6. Okay, queen e6 check. I mean queen d3 check. So we have two queens here and two rooks. So can we take this? So we have to block. If they, I think the first move is pretty obvious. We have to take it. There's no other option. So we can do this. Okay, rook check. Now we have options here. King g1 is very bad because queen f1 mates. Same thing here also because here Also mate king e1. So g2 is forced. Yeah, king g2, queen f1, king g3. Wait, let me check again. So check. Now king has to go to g3 forced, and there is one square here. So we can get here. Now I can take. Okay, bishop f6. So there's a mating threat on g7. Okay, so we'll see what happens if we capture this. Knight f6. So rook takes e8, then knight takes e8. Also, we don't have any check on c3. So it's forced. We have to take this. They capture. We need to capture back. Forced. Okay. Okay, knight d5. The queen is hanging now. So we have to take it. Pawn takes. No, if we take, I think this is hanging, right? But we have support also. So no problem. We can take. They take. We can take. Okay, knight c3. The queen looks like it got trapped because we have only one square. Queen b2 and then rook b1. But queen can come here. So we have to play this. Queen a3 forced. Knight b5. So this is hanging. So they are going to take on c7. So we can gain some time by capturing the a2 pawn because their rook is also hanging on b1. Okay, why it's wrong here? Rook e1. Let's try again. Knight b5, queen a2 looks strong, but there's a flaw here. So we can go queen c5. This is a simple defense, right? Yeah, queen c5. Okay, rook e6 check. Now we have few options. King can either go to d7 or f7. Okay. So in both cases, the rook is under attack. We can go to f7, I think, because we have a lot of defenders on the king side and more space. So king 2. Also, we have this bishop to for the defense, right? So we can just play king to f7. But let me check. Yeah, king f7 is fine. They take. We have to take back. e7 is defended. e6 is attacked. So this is fine. Okay, rook check. So if we play something like king d2, then rook b2 is going to come. So this rook is needed to defend the rank. So king has to go to e2, then rook d2. They take, we can take. Very strong. Okay. So here, black's idea is if we capture on e2, black is going to take on c1. So first we can save the rook with the tempo. So rook to c8, and then queen takes e2. Okay, d5. The knight is attacked. We can't take their knight because queen is coming to f2. So they have threats like queen h4, but we have defense. So what we can do here is we can just take on d5. We don't want to open this line. We can just take, because we are not allowing them to play knight f2 also. So we can just take on d5. Strong. So queen h4 check. So pawn push forced. So bishop f2. Now we have to choose king e2 or king f1. King f1, they can play queen h3. Queen h3 looks strong. Okay, we can go king to e2, because the queen and the rook is protected. The queen is protecting the rook, so there's a harmony between these two pieces. If we go to f1, even bishop g3 might come, so very dangerous. So we can just go king e2. Okay, so black is threatening to push, so this is one attack. So pawn push, we have to go king to a1. So there is a square to hold. For now we have to create a counter threat on h7. So if we get the bishop to f5, they won't be able to play g6 because that would open the 7th rank. So bishop f5 looks very strong. So g6, I mean h6 weakens this light squares, so we have chance to enter. So we can enter here, check. We have to play king a1 forced, and then we can enter here, check, and then checkmate. Okay, so here c2 is weak. We can go knight to b4, double attack on the queen and the c2. So bishop has to take, and then we can take back with the queen. So knight b4, take, queen captures to avoid check on this line. So queen captures d7. They move, we can take. So there's a check. So we have two options. One is to play king f4 and king e6. King f4 leads to checkmate because they can take support from the pawn. Queen is coming to g4, so we have to go king e6. So check. We have to go king d6 if we want to try, because king f5, again queen h5. So let's try this. Check. King has to go to c6, check, and king can safely come this side. The queen is also protected. So they will play queen c5, one last check, but then king can come here, no problem. Check, king to a6. Okay, so here the queen is attacked. So how to continue? Okay, rook b2 looks like a very strong counter attack. See, they are attacking. Not only about moving from the spot or defending. Sometimes counter attack also. Counter attack is the most powerful defense. So we can take on d2. We just consider that, because if rook takes, we have rook d1 mate, and also they don't have any checks. Hardly they can give one check here if the rook moves away. Okay, so we can just take. So knight d2 will activate this bishop, this diagonal. So rook d2, very strong. Queen d6 we can take because we are already a piece up, so we can just take. Okay, queen g3. This could be very dangerous in the future, but there are defenders around. So we have how many pawns? I think we have a pawn. We are pawn up, and this knight can go here. So what we can do? So if we take the g7, bishop is pinned. So probably they will go rook to b8, and then we can block with the rook. They will capture. We can capture with the king. Rook b8 check. Okay, so let's calculate again. So we can't go queen f5 because knight h6 is there. So let's take on d7, rook b8 check. So rook has to block. They will capture. We will capture back. Once again, rook check. Wait, takes. Rook takes f7, rook check. Rook f8. Rook captures. King captures. Rook b8. And king to e7. Again, if they play rook b7, we can block. But I think this piece is hanging. I missed something here. So I'm not convinced with that. So let's try something else. Queen g6. How about queen g6? They will capture. We can capture back. And this knight still has problems. So knight will go to g5. Okay. So I think we'll go with queen g6 because it looks very risky. Okay, it could be wrong, but I'm not sure here, because after we take this, what I saw was this rook b8. Okay, but there's another move here. What is it? Okay, we can break this coordination first by playing rook d1. This is very strong counter. We can get rid of one of the rooks, then we'll be able to capture on f7. So check, they capture, we capture. Now we can take, no problem. They capture, we can take. Okay, queen h5. So knight f7 is one threat. In that case, we'll get two pieces for the rook. Also, the bishop is hanging here. So we can go for this. Bishop d2, knight f7, rook takes, and we can take this on h7. Okay, so there's a mating threat here. Mating threat here. So this bishop is very strong because it is allowing the queen to get to h7. But if we take here, what happens? The queen is hanging because the queen is pinned, but also we can see the rook on c1 is also not protected. So they also have problems here. So we can just take it. They take, we can take. Okay, knight d5. So knight d5, they're allowing to capture on c4. So we can take knight f6. We can take back. So there's no problem here. So we can take this. We don't want to take this. We can take this directly. Yep. So there's a check. So we have two options, either to block or to play king g7. King g7 is not so good because it will lead to mate here. King g7 is not possible. So check, queen h8 is coming. If we move king g7, so we have to block. They'll come for another check. We can't move the queen, so we have to play king to g7. Check. Now we can block, gaining some time. So we want to unlock this rook line, so we can just play queen to d6 and then can capture. Okay, king f1. They are full rook down, but their threat is to make a new queen, so we won't be able to stop on the rank. We have to try to do something on the file. So we still have support on this square, so we can just play rook check and then rook to rook has to go to b1 because if we move the knight, they will play king c2. So rook has to go to b1. They take, we can take. Okay, there's a check. So we have two options. One option is to play f3, pawn f3, but pawn f3 is not good because rook f3 is coming. So king h4 is forced anyway. We can go there. So check. We can just take it. Check. We can take. Even if knight g5 comes, we can. Knight g5 won't come here because it's already pinned. So rook h3. So there's a mating attack here on h1. So we have to defend this h1. So what we can do is we can trade the queens because the queen on h6 is so powerful. It is giving support for the rook on h1. So we can just take. Wait. No, if we take, the rook is going back, right? So we can take with the pawn. still we have piece near the king side, so we can just go bishop to g2. We have square, so king can go to f1. So knight d5, knight d5. This is very bad because knight can just go and come back to e7. So knight takes. If queen takes, we have bishop g5 check. So again knight can come back. So that's a mistake. Okay, the king is badly placed. So they could play moves like bishop e6. So we have chance to take this also. So these squares are controlled. Hardly they can give one check. So can we take the bishop? What happens if we take? They are going to play queen to a5, and we can't play. Yeah, we can play king d3 and king here. So we can take. So check. So we can go back. Rook check. We can go to e4. We have a lot of pieces for the queen. Even if they play rook d4, we can take. So we can take. So they'll take. We can take. So we have two rooks plus one bishop, which is very strong. So rook check. So we have two options. One is to take, another one is to play king d7. So first we should see what happens if we capture. If we capture, f7 is defended by the rook. So if we capture rook f1, then check, rook f1 check, then king e8, queen g6, another tempo, king d8, then rook f8, king d7. Yeah, we have to capture because anyway we can't play king d7. This is hanging, so we have to capture. We can move. They'll play this. We can get the king to. If king d8, rook is coming here. So we can play king d7. No, king d7 looks obvious, but it's a mistake here. Why king d7 is a mistake? We have to find out. King d7, let me analyze this. If king d7, okay, king d7, bishop b3. So there is a threat on d1. So that is the reason why king d7 is not strong. So we can go back. Okay, so king d8, check. Now we can go here. Check. We can go to d6. Strong. Okay, so there is a attack here, but still king can come here. So we also have a chance to take on e4. Once we take, we are attacking the g2 and we are attacking the c4. So we can go for it because king has squares here. So no problem. So queen takes e4. Check, we can move. Check, we can take. Okay, they have two strong pawns coming. So rook versus two pawns are strong. Generally, two pawns on the 6th rank is very stronger than the rook, but the king is very near. So we can take. So to stop the c pawn, the rook must come because d pawn we can stop with the king. So we have to get the rook very far, and then we stop. Then we can bring the king closer. It takes. Okay. So bishop can go to e3, and then bishop 2. See, king won't be able to go to this square because we can catch. So bishop a2. So bishop has to go to c5. The knight can capture this. Strong. Takes. Okay, bishop g4. The threat is, if we take, this is the threat. So right now we can't take because the queen is there on d5. So what we can do is first make the queen move from the square by putting the pawn to c4. That makes sense. So c4, and then we can capture. So c4, they move, we can capture. Knight takes d5. So we take with the pawn, they take with the bishop. Queen g6 is one threat, bd5 is one threat. But queen g6 can be met with knight g7, bd5 can be met with be6. So there's no problem. We just take and play this and play this and take with the queen. Okay, queen check. So we have three options here. King d7 or king f8 or pawn g6. Pawn g6 actually attacks the queen because here we need to attack. The reason why we need to attack is already the knight on b5 is hanging. So we need to take this. So if we attack the queen, then the queen has to go away from the knight and then we can capture on b5. So pawn to g6. They move here. We can just take it. Pawn push. Again the knight can go to c3. Takes. We can block. Queen e7. Yes. So what happens? We can take. They give check. Again knight can come and block. So this rook we can accept. Check. We can block. Now we have two options. One is to move the king. Another one is rook b1. Moving the king is not good because king c1 they will play check. So we have to go rook b1. Check. And then we can go king c1 because king d2 we might get under attack. So king c1 and we can bring the queen for the defense. So queen will come. They take. Again queen will come for the defense. Okay, bishop g6. So there is attack going on the h file because we take knight g6. They will probably play queen h7 check. King f8, rook g6. Yes, looks strong. So knight g6, queen h7, king f8, or king f7. King f7, rook f1 is there. So we can go king f8, knight g6, because we have two defenders for the g6. I mean, after knight takes, king moves, we can go king f8, not f7, f8, because the rook on c7 can come to block if they go rook f1. So we can play king f8. So this is fine. Okay, rook check. So now we have a few options. We can take, or we can play king d7, or we can play king e7. King d7 looks very risky because the other rook is joining the attack, and taking also is not really good because rook will come. So we can play king to e7 because this knight can shield the king. So king to, wait, king e7. So king e7. I think king e7 they will play queen a3. Check. If you block with the queen, then at some point they will exchange the queen and they will be able to win the rook. So the rook has to be exchanged because okay, they will take, and we have to play king e7, and then the point is we can play queen d6. We can block because rook e8 will not work. Knight e8, queen a7. We can go knight d7. Yes. So check. We can go knight d7 and take. So very strong. Okay, pawn takes check. So g7, there is an attack going on. So we don't take with the king because they have a discovery, and probably knight also under promotion also is possible, knight or queen maybe. Okay, so first move we have choice to either move the king to h3 or queen takes. Okay, so if queen takes, still I think they have a chance to promote into a knight check, and then they will exchange the queen. So this queen is needed to attack the g7. So therefore we can play king to h3. So this is my idea, but got it wrong. Why it's wrong? In h3, take king h3. What is the problem with king h3? Because there is no check anywhere, and this is attacked. Okay, so let's retry. Pawn takes, queen takes. So this is what it's analyzed earlier. Okay, so has to take bishop has to take first. Queen takes, king takes. Okay, so white is winning. Yep. Okay, queen check. So this is under attack. So where the king can move. So king should try to hide somewhere here. There won't be any checks. So this is just an imagination. Okay, but we have to analyze clearly to find out whether it works or not. So check. So if we go here, what happens? This bishop can join the attack. Another option is king g5 takes. We can go king f7. King f7 looks the obvious move, but it's technically wrong. Because taking up. Okay, this looks risky, but still, this is the defense. Because king can come here, and there's no check. Actually, after king h7, there's no check. So that's the point here. So check. I mean, no check from the queen. So king h7. So strong. Okay, rook check. So this is connected. So if we take, when they take, they also have back rank problems. So we have to remember that. So now we have this pawn chains are very strong actually. So if we play king f7, no, we take on d8. They will take probably with the queen. So queen takes, and then king f7. Queen takes. h8 is coming. So we have to go king to f7. So they will give check. Now king g6. The king can get away easily. So check, king e6, g6. Okay, there's a threat. So probably we need to get the knight to f5 to defend the g3. So that looks like an obvious move to me. So let's try this. Knight f5. Okay. So can analyze a lot of defense later on. Thank you.